Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Krakwadash. I want to give double honors to Apostle Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. And the mighty shalom to all the listeners and believers, the Akim and Aqua stand rooted in his faith and truth, pushing the will of the Lord. All right, just a few brothers at the Garrett Branch Great Millstone. We're going to come back again with another edifying video. Today's title being Obedience Matters More Than Words. Right? Because we have to understand that yes, it's cool to get precepts. Yes, it's cool to understand how to link them up, but you have to understand on how to apply them to your life, man. You have to understand on how to actually make this truth your life and move. What's it called in the spirit, man? You can know all the precepts in the world, but if you aren't applying them, it's pointless, man. All right. So we're gonna start in the book of John 14 and 15. You guys can bring out precepts as you want, speak when you want. John 14 and 50 says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. Right? Love is an action word, man. A lot of people, what's it called? My people love me with much lip service. So a lot of people in this world say they love the Lord, but yet what commandments do they keep? Yet what's it called? Do they do the things the Lord asks of them? Right? No, that they say they love the Lord, but they love the thought of the Lord, man. They don't actually do the things that actually please the Lord. They try to fit the Lord in their life instead of fitting their what's it called? Their life around the Lord, man. Give me 1 second. It says give me 1 second. I'm trying to get the next precept I had lined up. All right. Because reading it one more time, it says, if you love me, keep my commandments. Give me 1 second. Yeah, here we go. Deuteronomy. Oh my goodness. Slovakia. It says Deuteronomy 10 and verse 12. And now Israel, what doeth the Lord thy power require of thee? But to fear the Lord thy power, to walk in all his ways. Right? So we're supposed to be walking, we're supposed to be actual what's it called? Living sacrifice, that light on the hill. So people can see what's it called, that good works through us, man. And praise the Lord. Because you have to understand a lot of people see us as that old man. But coming from that old man and being turned into a new creature, they're going to start to see, oh, it's only one way this man could turn from that, and that's through the Lord. So by walking in this truth and doing the things that we're supposed to be doing for the Lord, what's it called? People are going to start to glorify the Lord, man. It says, and hold on. It says,
These are the ways that Yahweh Shai taught us.
Con.
You know, that he gave us the gospel, the good news.
Mm-hmm.
A part of the good news is keeping the commandments, man, and coming back to our heritage and serving the Lord like we once did. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord was with us.
Yep. Con. That's what this whole thing we're going through is about, man. Understanding how good the law actually was for us. Because when we had the law to begin with, we didn't really appreciate the law for its full what's it called? I guess you could use the word countenance, right? We thought the grass is green on the other side, but now that we're going through what's it called, this walk, and we've been taught the way of the wicked, but now we're coming back to this truth. We're starting to see how much more better off we were with the law, man.
Precept.
Go ahead.
You get Baruch 4, and I'm trying to see where I'm going to start at, but the point is in 28.
Root 4 and
Yeah, 28 is fine. Straight to the point.
Root 4 and 28 says, for as it was your mind to go astray from Yahweh, so being returned, seek him 10 times more.
Yeah, so like you said, we once had this truth, the Lord was once dealing with us, but it was us, and our people to go astray. We went off, and we fell away, from our power. So now that we got this truth back again, through Yahweh Shai, we got to seek him 10 times more, We got to put in more work and be more diligent and being more obedient to his laws.
I got a precept. Give me 1 second. Because based off what you just said, that links up with the scripture that goes into redeeming the times, man. Ephesians.
Yep. And if I may make another point, we liken them to the Lord's woman, you know, and we pretty much cheated on them,
Mm-hmm.
and then we spiritually cheated on him, So now we got to pretty much make it up to him, because he taking us back, you know. That's what Yahweh's whole ministry was about, reconciling us, with Yahweh, the Father.
Mm-hmm.
You got it.
This is the book of Ephesians. I'll start at 5 and verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil." So now the Lord has brought us back into that fold, and we're starting to see the actual benefits. Now we're supposed to be seeking the Lord. Well, like the brother said, 10 times more, man, redeem that time due to the fact that we've spent so much time already underneath these curses, already underneath our oppressor and learning his ways. Now that we have the opportunity to come back to the Lord, we're supposed to be redeeming the time and spending this time actually doing the things that please the Lord and trying to clean our houses up before the Lord comes back, man.
Yep.
It says, "Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit." Right. So we're not supposed to be leaning back into those old ways, doing those old things, which had put us in that predicament in the first place. Right. We're not supposed to be no longer drunk on that Babylon juice, but now we're supposed to be filled with the Spirit and fulfilling the will of the Lord. Right. Pushing this truth, man. What was it called? Cleaning our houses, man. Knocking off that dross, making that old man die daily. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. My bad.
Yeah, so that's a commandment right there to not do the things you're used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
Because this world taught us evil, man.
Come.
The Lord teaches opposite of that. The Lord teaches us life.
Come.
Not the life we once lived, but a new life, man, of righteousness, the correct way of how you're really supposed to live your life in the Lord.
Yep. I got another precept. Y'all don't have anything.
Floor is yours.
Bro, Book of Proverbs, chapter 19, starting at verse 16. It says, "He that keepeth the commandments keepeth his own soul." All right. So we understand that these commandments bring us to life, man. This is what's gonna actually what's it called? Extend your life, because we understand that sin is what? Death. That's what was it called? Brought us to the situation now. When we
Yeah.
started to go off, the Lord said, "You got it, my bad."
So, Lucky, I just wanted to ask you what verse did you just grab?
Proverbs 19 and 16.
1916. Okay, the water.
Yep. So I believe that was back in the book of Genesis. The Lord said, "My spirit will not strive with them." Understanding that when we start to go off, that's when our lifespan started to dwindle more and more due to the fact of us what's it called, adding to that sin. So now you see that the life expectancy of an average Israelite isn't what it used to be. Right. But when we go back into doing the things that we're supposed to be doing, that bringeth to life, man. That's where that eternal life comes from. Once we get those new bodies, we won't be going off anymore. So we're not going to be, what's it called, subject to death anymore. It says, "He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul, but he that despiseth his ways shall die." Right. So we understand that sin is death. So if you continue in this same folly that you've already been doing, you're going to get that same result. Right. You can't expect to keep doing 1 + 1 and expecting it not to equal out to 2. You keep doing this sin, you're gonna end up what's it called, getting that reward of the wicked, man.
Okay. Yeah, that's the definition of insanity.
Come.
Doing the same thing over again and expecting a different result.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's the people of this world, man. They live in total madness, man. You know, they keep doing corruption and thinking they're gonna, get perfection somehow.
Come. Right. Only way of getting that perfection, man, is through the Lord, man. That's the
Yep, that's
only
the
way.
only way.
Come.
Man,
What's it called? I got another precept if y'all don't have anything. James 1:22. It says, matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 21. It says, wherefore lay apart all filthiness and superfluity of naughtiness, and receive with meekness the engrafted word which is able to save your soul. Right? So we're supposed to be laying off those old ways and receiving this engrafted word, which we once knew, man. That's why what's it called, that engrafted, we're bringing it back out, man. We're returning to that old path. It says, which is able to save your soul. Right? These words and doing these things is ointment, man. It's healing you. Right? It says, but be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. All right, so you have a lot of people out here who are holier than thou spirits, but when you really look at it behind closed doors, what are you actually doing, man? You coming out here every weekend, prophesying and trying to cut the next man, but when you go back to your everyday life, are you still reading? Are you still fasting? Are you still applying these things to your life, man? Are you actually trying to become a better man? All right. So you can't just be sitting here doing much lip service and not actually putting what's it called, action behind that. Ooh, matter of fact, precept. If y'all don't have anything.
Nah, he's straight.
Because based off what I just said, it's funny. It's still in the book of James. James actually chapter 2. Because it goes right into it, man. Without what's it called? You can have all the faith, but if you're not backing that faith up with works, do you really have faith? Do you really believe in the things that the Lord are saying? Do you believe that the Lord is a rewarder of them that do that the will of the Lord, and actually what's it called, stay in righteousness? It says faith and works being a title. James 2 and verse 14. It says, what doeth it profit, my brethren? Matter of fact, hold on. It's actually going to be 2 and 26. Salakia. Started up too high. Matter of fact. Give me 1 second. No, it's 17. Yep. Actually 14. Let's start at 14. It says, what doeth it profit, my brethren, though a man say he have faith and have not works? Can faith save him? All right. It says, if a brother or sister be naked and destitute of daily food, and one of you say unto them, depart in peace, but be ye warmed and filled, notwithstanding ye give them not those things which are needful to the body, what doeth it profit? Even so, faith, if it have not works, is dead, being alone. All right, so it's dead, man. That goes back to what we was just saying. You got to be a doer, right? You can't just sit here having one without the other, man. You can't have it's just like this peanut butter and jelly. You can't have any two things that add up together, right? So you have to put these words to use, man. You have to put all of this knowledge that the Lord has given us to use. He says one thing to get wisdom, but also with getting that wisdom, get understanding on how to apply it, when to apply it, understanding on how to move with discernment, understanding how to move circumspectly. That's what this whole walk is about, man. All of these different tests and trials the Lord is putting you through is order to help you get more discipline and understanding on when to what's it called, apply certain scriptures, man.
Yeah.
They call you got it.
So okay, bro, keep going.
No, you got it.
Yeah, but you know, like your works, you know, that's one thing that helps you build your reputation, man.
Con.
You know, like Yahweh Shai, for example, people all around the world, in a sense, they know of the person, but they don't know his true name. They ignorantly call him Jesus. But what they know him by is what he did,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Imagine if Yahweh Shai never came to do what he did. Would his name be talked about 2,000 years later?
Mm.
So you got to put effort into this. You know what I'm saying? You got to have those works, all right? Because it says your works shall follow you,
Con.
and Yahweh Shai's works definitely did. You know, Yahweh Shai did good works.
Very true.
Do you want to be known for bad works, or being against the Lord?
Yep.
All right, so that's hey, put the work of the world behind you, man, and follow the Lord.
Con.
Hey, that's what the disciples did. Hey, yo, they left from the work that they was doing. Hey, they was out there catching fishes, and then Yahweh Shai came. Hey, man, they walked they walked right after Yahweh Shai, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the scriptures say they left straightway.
Straight way, yeah. You got it, bro.
Last verse, James 2:18. It says, "Yea, a man say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works."
See, there it goes. It explains itself.
Con. And that's what's gonna happen real soon, man. Real soon. A lot of those people that so-called believe, you're gonna start to see what's it called, their faith being tested. All right, you're gonna start to see that they wasn't sitting there putting up shots in the gym, man. When that real game time comes, they gonna fold. Right, but those that have been putting in that work, those that have been day to day doing what the Lord has asked of them, when that time comes, it's gonna show, man.
God.
If I may,
Go ahead.
to add to your point, showing your faith by your works. Not every person, in this faith gonna be a prophet, or a teacher. So if you just a believer, a listener, then you still gotta show some type of works, by being
Mhm.
charitable, you know, being there for somebody, being there for a brother, if he down, lowering yourself to pretty much y'all could be on the same level, so then he won't feel alone. There's so many different things to do to show your works. It's not just about teaching as well.
Very true.
Having integrity, doing the right thing when nobody else is watching.
Hmm.
So kind.
God. Are you finished with that verse?
Yes, sir. You got a precept?
Okay.
Which one we get?
Romans 5 verse 19.
Romans 5:19. It says, "For as by one man's disobedience, many were made sinners."
So yeah, you know, as we know, the Adam and Eve story,
Hmm.
which many don't know that was our savior Yahweh Shai. Adam, and his wife, and hey, we were made subject to vanity, man. Once they did what they was not supposed to do, and
Hmm.
so all the children, you know, uh, all their offspring, man, all the way down to this day, man, we became sinners from that moment.
Con.
It says, but keep reading.
It says, continue on. So by the obedience of one shall many be made righteous.
And that's Yahweh Shai also, man, because he's coming back to fix the wrong that he did, man,
Mm-hmm.
and to bring us back into perfection again. That Yahweh Shai lived the perfect life. You know, hey, Yahweh Shai is our leader, man.
Con.
Yeah, we were led into sin, and now he's gonna lead us out of sin. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if we just follow his word.
Yep.
Hey, he made a mistake, and now he's gonna fix it. And it's our duty as followers of the Lord, man. The elect are really gonna listen and obey his word,
Con.
obey the law. So that hey, man, we got to do what we're supposed to do. We got to do what we're here to do, man. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and that's what it is, man. Hey, what they say the Bible is they say stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth.
Whoo.
Man, you got it, bro.
Con, it's a God. And like the brother said, he's the one that's gonna bring us back, man. He's the original trailblazer. Hold on, let me add the
Mhm.
brother. So yeah, he's the original trailblazer, man. And through him doing this thing and showing us it is possible. See, a lot of people in this world, they lack faith, man. They lack faith that it's possible for the Lord to forgive them for the things that they've done. Right? The Lord showed you that through time and time again. He in one lifetime he went off, but in another lifetime, he walked the perfect walk, showing that it is possible to do this thing, man. Right now, we understand that being in the flesh, we're gonna go off. But the whole point is, are you trying? Are you actually trying to do better? Are you actually trying to rehearse the righteous acts? Are you actually trying to, Lord willing, what's it called, be pardoned? Right? And
Hey, yeah,
through
because
following the
hey,
Lord, you got it.
yeah, hey, man, Yahweh Shai cared enough to do that for us, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so do you care enough to do it for
God.
him? Hey, man, he went up there and you know, uh, became the sacrifice for Israel. What's the least that you can do?
Mm-hmm.
And hey, show what you can do for the Lord, man.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I had another one. If y'all don't have anything.
You got it.
All right. This going into pretty much understanding that um the Lord's coming back to save those that are actually doing what he's asked. Matthew 7:21 says, not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Right. So just because you're calling on the Lord, don't think that the Lord is gonna what's it called, accept some of your guys' prayers due to the fact of you're praying to the Lord, but yet you're not actually doing the things that he's asked. You're not actually trying to walk in this faith. You're not actually putting the body in subjection. All right, we're supposed to be living sacrifice, man. We're supposed to be putting off this old life, but yet you have people out here who are only showing up so called on Sundays and claiming that they're saved, but yet what are you saved from? You're still you're. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you good. Keep going.
Now you got it.
You get Matthew 24 and 46.
Con. You said 20. Oh, I know what you got. Matthew 24 and 46 states. Yep. Con. Matthew 24 and 46 says, "Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing."
Yeah, so the Lord, he pretty much gave us a job to do down here, to be obedient, to spread the gospel, and make sure we're doing the things to pretty much get pardoned, spiritually, to make it out of this place, like we said, we gotta do the commandments to the best of our ability, and do the things that's Salakia, uh, uh, the fruits of the spirit, you know, doing those things, you know. Can you read it over again?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Hold on back. It says, "Verily I sent." No, it says, "Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing."
So yeah, I made my point. I was just making sure I didn't skip over anything. Salakia.
So, like the brother said, find so doing, man. You actually have to be occupied, because the Lord said, "Occupy till I come." All right, so He gave us work to do, man. He gave us things to do and things to work on until He comes back. All right. So you have to understand what the Father's gonna come back and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, but you think you're gonna get that reward. No, lie. Right? But if He comes back and find you doing so, what does it say? What's that next verse? What does it say? It says, "Verily I say unto you that He shall make him ruler over all His good." Why? Because you was able to do what the Lord told you to do, and you were able to handle a small matter, which really isn't a small matter. So He's gonna increase. He's gonna give you an increase when He comes back, man, and make you ruler over His whole household.
Yeah, like almost like, like when you're at a job or something, and the boss walks in and he sees people working and then he sees some people not working.
Mm-hmm.
The people that's working, he's like, all right, they're doing good. I'm gonna give them a promotion. I'm gonna give them a raise. And then like the people that they see not working, they're like, man, I'm gonna have to let these people know if they don't do what's right, I'm gonna have to fire them.
Yep. Precept. Pretty much backing up what the brother Kanaja said. Am I on the wrong one? Oh no. Revelations 22 and 12, straight to the point. It says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be." So, like, you got it.
Yeah. Hey, he shall give you according as your work shall be, man.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you put in is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So that's the mindset you should have, man. That's what that faith goes into. Understanding that the Lord is going to come back and reward those who are doing what they're supposed to be doing. You have to really believe that. You have to see that vision that the Lord is going to come back and give you all those things that the Book of Wisdom of Solomon said, man. He said, "If your delight be in thrones and and so on and so on, first obtain wisdom, right? Or desire wisdom, right? But with that desire, you have to also try to gain understanding on how to apply that wisdom, man. You have to apply these things to your life and become a new creature, putting off that old man." That was it on that. Y'all had anything?
You said new creature. I'm looking for the scripture right now.
Con.
Uh, Romans 12.
Gun, I got some.
Get his precept first.
What you got, Yashara?
Get 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 14. And y'all can break it down. Just feeding you up.
1 Corinthians 9:14, it says, even so have the Lord ordained that they which preach the gospel should live of the gospel. Whoo. All right. So you can't sit here. I got a precept actually that goes with this. You can't sit here and go out and preach, but yet not actually live the words that you're saying. Because if you're not living by them, why should anybody else believe what you're saying? If you're
Yep.
not
Practice.
fulfilling it, go ahead. My bad.
I was gonna say practice what you preach. God.
Come on. All right. So if you're not fulfilling your own thing, what's it called? Words that you're telling people to do, you're a hypocrite, man. And nobody likes a hypocrite. That's one thing everybody can agree about. Nobody likes a hypocrite.
Yeah, the word says rehearse the righteous acts. You
Yep.
know, so that's what we're supposed to do, man. We're supposed to not say we're living by the Lord, but actually live by the Lord, man. You know,
Mhm.
like it says, a man shall not live by, what is it? Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of the Most High. Brother.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get this precept ahead. It is 37. I thought so. Verse 19. It says 37 and 19 to back up this precept the brother Yasharala just gave. It says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. Right. So you can't go out here giving all of these beautiful precepts and all of this wise instruction and counsel, but yet when you go home, you're not applying the own instruction counsel to your own life, man. All right. You're being unprofitable, man. What to say? You're like one that does it call beat it in the air. You're not actually progressing, man. You're not actually moving in this thing. You're still that same man that came into it from the jump. What it said, one that looketh into a looking glass. So you're just fooling yourself, right? And we don't want to have that spirit, man, of fooling ourselves and what's it called, thinking we are growing in this truth, but in all reality, we're the same wicked man that we were to begin with.
Yeah, a part of this is examining ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Pointing out, looking at all our flaws, man, so that we can be better.
Hmm.
You know.
I'm gonna get that what you just quoted.
Uh,
2 Corinthians 13. 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. It says, examine yourself whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves? How that Yahushua Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates? You can break it down.
Yeah, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Are you really, like serving the Lord? Are you really, doing what you say you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
What are you really doing? What you're making things out to be, or to look? It says prove your own selves. Prove it to yourself.
Oh.
Yep. And if you go into that word prove, it also goes into like test, you know. So you gotta test yourself constantly, to actually make sure that you're actually doing the things that you just set yourself to be upon.
Correct yourself, man. Make the correction, make the necessary corrections, man, so that you can, be better for the Lord.
Oh.
Yep.
So you know you got to give yourself like a what is it, constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm. And that's a part of the walk, man, being able to adjust. All right. That's what us falling comes in. It says your best teacher is your last mistake. So us falling is showing us, okay, it's not working this way. How can I pivot? How can I adjust and do it the correct way this time, man? All right.
Kind of.
That's the whole what's it called? That's a part of the walk, man. You have to be willing to pretty much how do I want to put this? You have to be willing to adjust and do what it takes in order to become that new man. So that's what goes with that examining, man. All right, you're examining yourself to see, okay, am I really, what's it called, grown in this truth? Am I really becoming a new creature? Am I really applying these words to its fullest? All right, you're giving yourself these short little quizzes, as we would call it, quizzes, because that final test is going to show what you've been doing. What's it called in this lifetime?
Yeah, you know you're trying to figure out am I good material, man? You know.
Y'all's right. You can hear
Yeah.
me? I don't think you can hear me.
I hear you. What's up?
Oh, yeah. I was about to say, you want me to read it again? Because I had got that. The Ecclesiasticus 37:19.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just feeding you. Go ahead. Feeding
Oh,
y'all.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
stay
read
on
it
mute.
again. It says, there is one that is wise and teacheth many, is yet a prophet to himself. There is one that showeth wisdom in words and is hated, and he shall be destitute of all food. All right. So going again, man, there you can, what's it called, have all of the precepts in the world, man. But once again, it all comes down to applying them. It all comes down to what's it called, performing. Right. That goes back into rehearses the righteous acts. We're supposed to be rehearsing these things, man. So when we do get that opportunity, Lord will then be of that number. It's gonna be what's it called, second nature to do these things, man. We're showing the Lord now that we actually wanna, what's it called, be righteous by these by trying now, man. But anybody else had anything else?
Where were you at right now?
Ecclesiasticus 37. I have read 19 and 20. I can read it again for if you want.
The 19 and 20 read.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
kind of. Yeah, 19 and 20 kind of. All right.
You want me
It
to read it
says
again for you?
there is one that is wise and teacheth many, and yet is unprofitable to himself. There is one that sheweth wisdom in words, and is hated, and he shall be destitute of all food. Kinda.
Oh, that's all I had. Y'all had anything else?
Nope, I ain't had nothing.
All right. So, Lord willing, this video was edifying. With that, we want to give all praise and glory and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Shalom, Makim, Kwam Yasharala, Ababa Ball, Chemotherapy, soon.
Soon.
Shalom. So.